Adventure awaits where rules don't exist, far in the outer rim of the galaxy, so let's take a look at 5 different Star Wars planets. Getting started off with Serolonis, the planet known for Riot Racing, with the races being held at the Safa Toma Speedway. And the city of Safa Toma was built to serve the racetrack, where Riot Racing was the main attraction. It was a death trap for most racers, as droids were a common choice to participate in the race because of how dangerous it was, and Riot Racing was fairly absent of rules, as racers would mount laser cannons on their speeders to shoot other racers off the track or destroy them, and the course was raced at high speeds with constant dangerous obstacles in the way. Not to mention, the races were also fixed, with local crime bosses like Malahi scheduling the outcomes of races by eliminating other racers so only his are left. And Serolonis certainly is a cool place we get to see in the Bad Batch, and even Saw Gerrera picked up some of his partisans on Serolonis. And other than the Safa Toma racetrack, the desert planet of Serolonis is just about empty. So moving on to our next planet, that is manetll, the capital of the Bright Jewel system. manetll's history started off in isolation, located in what is known as wild space during the time of the early Republic. And it was only accessible through an intricate network of frontier hyperspace routes, and as the Republic grew, they established bases and shipyards on the planet, and civilian cargo and trade soon followed after, with the presence of military-grade shipyards. And manetll became a notable trading post for spacers who traveled west of the Hydian Way super hyperroute. And as manetll grew, so did its reputation. manetll City's black markets thrived, its spaceports were active, and a culture of criminal activity cemented itself. And by the time of the Clone Wars, manetll became known as a large base of operations for the Black Sun criminal syndicate. And even the governors of manetll were aware of the illegal activity in the open markets, and they would willingly turn a blind eye in exchange for bribes, and the courts even respected the rights of bounty hunters on the world as they viewed them as a form of law enforcement. And manetll became a safe haven for the unsavory types in the galaxy, as Zygerians operated slave markets, Pikes selling spice, Black Sun selling weapons, and casinos and cantinas around every street. And even the Empire had a hard time controlling manetll, as the black markets of manetll City were known well across the galaxy to always be stable and reliable. Unlike the next planet of Jakku, which was a desert wasteland, and the Niima Outpost, which was a junkyard settlement, was just about the only location on Jakku where you could refuel, trade, eat, and drink. Just about the only notable thing to happen on Jakku was the Battle of Jakku, which was the decisive last stand of the Galactic Empire against the New Republic. And the result of the battle is the Starship Graveyard, and its salvage made up the backbone of the economy at Niima Outpost. The wreckage of Imperial Star Destroyers and New Republic starships were littered across Jakku. Locals would salvage what they can from the Starship Graveyard and return it to the Niima Outpost for scraps. And besides the planet being home to the end of the Empire, the Niima Outpost, interestingly enough, is named after Niima the Hutt. And the next planet we'll be looking at is Lanupa, home to Skull Ridge Mountain. Once the private lair and hoard to the Pirate King, it now hosts Skull Ridge Mountain Hotel and Spa, an exclusive mud bath spa heated by the acid that once protected a pirate's lair. It had a cantina, hotel, dock, spa, beautiful mountains, and Lanupa was overall a great tourist destination for the wealthy elites in the Star Wars galaxy. And at Skull Ridge Mountain Spa and Resort, all species were welcome, none were trusted, and violence was not tolerated. And Skull Ridge Mountain was just about the only notable location on Lanupa, as most of the planet was a mountainous frontier. And Skull Ridge Mountain certainly does have some pretty cool lore, with it being a pirate lair and now serving as a luxury resort. And moving on to our last planet, that is Veelo. The dangerous swamp planet had waters that teemed with dangerous gryzards, basically crocodiles, and the planet also had an atmosphere that made it lethal for humans to breathe without protective masks because of gas refineries that polluted the water, swamps, and atmospheres of the planet. On the overall, this is a place where you don't want to visit. Only Serolonis, a bug-like creature in the Star Wars universe, is known to live here, and the gas refineries are about some of the only locations on the planet, and again are the source of the main pollution that makes the planet so deadly to visit. So with that, those are 5 different planets across the Star Wars galaxy. And the Outer Rim was home to some of the wildest planets, with criminal safe havens like Serolonis and manetll operating in the Outer Rim, to desert wastelands like Jakku, and pirate legends turned into resorts on Lanuba, and Veelo being a planet that no one wants to visit. Those are 5 planets across the Star Wars galaxy. Subscribe if you'd like, comment down below, and until next video, goodbye.